My great pleasure to invite Vice President for STEM, Professor Rob Bynan, to address the meeting. Over to you, Rob.
It really is a pleasure for me to introduce the Honorary Fellow, Dr. Kadiatu Kanneh-Mason. Dr. Kanneh-Mason has had a transformative impact on the appreciation of and engagement with classical music among young people, ethnic minorities, and the general public. She and her remarkable family have captured the hearts of many, many people. She is an outstanding role model in many dimensions. Her election to the Learned Society of Wales affirms our commitment to the highest educational standards and to excellence in music, particularly perhaps at a time when music and music education is a little bit under siege. I won't list all of her many awards and achievements. They're actually too numerous to do this. They can be found in her biography on our web pages. But as examples, her book, The House of Music, has won several prizes, including the J.M. Barrie Lifetime Award and the Independent Society of Musicians Distinguished Musician Award. She is an Honorary Fellow of the Royal Academy of Music, and there are many, many more. Rather than list those, let me tell you instead that Dr. Kanneh-Mason has a very healthy complement of Welsh genes, and these must have included those for musical ability and musical sensitivity. Sadly, those genes passed my generation by. If you need persuasion of this, I would remind you, or I'd recommend that you spend a few minutes listening to her son, Sheku, playing Myfanwy on the cello. It's delivered as a beautiful tribute to his grandmother, and it is wonderful. And to conclude, I'm going to try my appalling Welsh, fy Gymraeg ofnadwy, and say this: Mae'r cerddoriaeth yn lleddfu'r enaid. Music soothes the soul. Please welcome Dr. Kadiatu Kanneh-Mason. Thank you.
So it's incredible to be elected an honorary fellow of this learned society, and it came as a real surprise and a huge delight. It's so important that we have these spaces in which to share our thoughts, our points of view, and our research from a range of disciplines and expertise. Learned societies provide an opportunity we don't always get when we're in what can be the echo chambers of our own specific fields. I'm particularly delighted to become a fellow of the Learned Society of Wales because my mother is Welsh, born here in Cardiff, with her parents from Beaufort, Ebervale and Kerry in Powys, originally from Pembrokeshire. I was born in Sierra Leone amongst my father's family, and moved to Caldicot, not too far from here, when I was 8 years old. Actually, my first name on my birth certificate and passport is Gwyneth, but no one could pronounce it in Sierra Leone. So I'm just Caddy. What always saddened our family was the loss of the Welsh language from my mother's grandparents, who were Welsh speaking, down to us. So my family have been Welsh learners for decades now. I'm sorry to say that only my mother and sister are now fluent, but they're always trying to bring me along with them. My field of expertise is English literature and language, and my degrees and PhD were from Southampton and Sussex universities, where I lectured, lastly at Birmingham University, where I was lecturer in English. That's my professional background. But since writing my first academic book, African Identities, I've now written 2 more books which seek to embrace more than only academia. My memoir, House of Music, published in 2020, is the story of my childhood in Wales and the other part of my life as a mother of 7 children who are classical musicians. Although we live in Nottingham now, their understanding of their Welsh identity runs very deep. And amongst their classical recordings are their own arrangements of Calon Lan, Ar Lan y Môr, my son Sheiku's cello version of Myfanwy, and my daughter Isata's composition called Hiraeth. My most recent book, To Be Young, Gifted and Black, explores issues of race, national identity, being Welsh and Black, being Caribbean, African and classical musicians, and what creativity, music and the arts, so much a part of my life growing up in Wales, means to us. And a crisis is hitting music and music education now. I think so sadly of Cardiff University's music department, which I've heard may be rescued, the junior apartment of the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, which has gone, St David's Hall, either completely gone or definitely under threat. They are parts of my childhood and my children's musical careers. They've all performed at St David's Hall and competed or won in BBC Young Musician at the Royal Welsh College. And my grandfather, James Edwards, studied here at Cardiff University for his Bachelor of Arts and his Bachelor of Divinity to become a Baptist minister and a teacher. As you can probably tell, my professional life now encompasses being an author and also advocating for music and for education. It's vital that the creative and performing arts are an inspiration, an education, and or a career for all or any children and young people, and indeed for all of us. And right here in the capital of Wales, music, the arts and education have a very special significance. Thank you for electing me to the Learned Society of Wales. It's a true honour.